So no matter if you're spending $100 a day or $20,000 a day, this will work and lower your costs.
Now, as you can see here on the left, we've got our top of funnel. That's the cold traffic or the acquisition campaigns. And we spend about 70% of our budget here, okay? That's where we want to acquire our customers. And while a lot of people say, you should be willing to lose money on the front end, I am very much still an advocate of profit first. So we want to at least be breaking even on the front end for one reason and one reason only: aggressive scale. If you guys are spending 10, 20 grand a day and you're not at least breaking even on the front end, you're going to find it very difficult to scale. So we do want really salesy creatives still and real direct response creatives, even when marketing with e-commerce, so that we can break even, and then we monetize on the back end with our middle, bottom of funnel, and our post-purchase campaigns.
Acquisition prospecting is the first one. This piece, those are people that don't know you. So there's a bunch of people in the world that never saw your brand. They don't know your brand. They don't know what your services and products are. Then you have people in a second touch. They maybe saw your video ad, or they engage with your ads, or engage with your page, right? But they never been to your website. So kind of they know who you are, or they're likely to know who you are because it's second touch plus. It can be also the third, fourth, fifth touch. But they have not yet visited your website, which shows the intent of the purchase in an e-com scenario and also in lead gen. So that's basically the second touch. Those are totally different campaigns, totally different content, different optimizations you want to do there. Then we have retargeting. So once we manage to bring someone to our website, we want to retarget them back. We have high intent visitor, low intent. You have people spend a lot of time on your website, and people that spend less. There's different value. And then retention. So those are your existing customers.
So what we can do is we can increase or double the budget 3 to 4 times a day and generate a very similar result to when we were spending at low scale. Of course, the CPA is going to increase a little bit, but that's when we've then got our optimization rules that I mentioned earlier to trim away the fat on those campaigns. So increase the budget or double the budget 3 to 4 times a day works great. And that can take a $1,000 campaign from 1K to 2K to 4K to 8K to even 16K per day. So you can see how you can scale these campaigns extremely quickly. Plus, when you've got those mega CBOs in there, all of that data and all of those inputs that you're giving to Facebook and all the different options really feed the algorithm to support and sustain these high budgets. By setting up these automated rules, we're able to save a heap of money by cutting back on what's not working throughout the day and really scaling up what is working. So as you can see there, our optimization rules, we've got our stop loss on the ad set level. And if an ad set spends $200 throughout the day without sales, we just turn it off. By setting up the rules this way, when you spend over $1,000 and the CPA is greater than 65, then we turn off either the campaign or ad set, depending on how you want to set it up. Once the CPA is $55, so you'll notice it's a bit stricter and it's still above our target CPA, then we turn off the campaign. And finally, we actually hit our target CPA for optimization once we're spending at least $2 grand. And then of course, we've also got a safety rule. If we do have delayed attribution, we are turning back on a campaign if it becomes unprofitable. So if it's spent over $1,000 and the CPA is profitable, then we're going to be turning it back on.
If I were to build something, now it's a little bit more scientific, right? How do we make sure that we're actually making clear judgments at this funnel? Well, we built one of these, nice little calculators. Top, we have our correlations. Right below that, we have our conversion rates, and at the bottom, we have our success metrics. These success metrics turn every single junior media buyer into an intermediate or advanced because now they're confident. And the most consistent question I get alongside from the creative is, how do we get good buyers? I know Savannah talked to it. Dim's got a team that he's trained. And I guarantee you the difference between a good buyer and a bad buyer is a good buyer knows how to spend money and is confident in pushing dollars. Bad media buyers won't spend money. So if we look at the correlations, this is to see if is a CPC any indicative of a future purchase? Most likely not, but maybe it is, pull it. This is simple in Excel, it's just a Corel versus 2 channels, easy export. What about our conversion rates? If you're gonna click, how likely are you to get to my cart? Well, if you're gonna get to my cart, how likely are you to get to my checkout, etc. These things are all very simple to pull. This is a simple calculator. I'd love to share it with you. You guys have my email. And lastly, we have our ROAS target. Sometimes you can't spend up to $2,000 or $200 or $400. You have to cut it earlier. So if your metrics pre-purchase are not in line, cut it.
Let's say that your cost per sale on your ad account is usually $40. You're gonna bid 20 to start, okay? Again, half. And here's what it looks like. So you're gonna do lowest cost with a bid cap. There it is, 20 bucks. And notice this little guy down here, accelerated. I normally don't recommend to do accelerated, but this is one situation where I do. So you're gonna set the pacing to accelerated there, just like I just pointed out, instead of standard. This is like the equivalent of putting your foot down on the gas pedal and just getting going quick. On normal campaigns, this would waste money, but you'll see in a second why for this, it works great.